Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Students, today we are going to start the first lesson of English language, that is phrases and clauses. In this lesson, we are going to learn about phrases and clauses, different types of phrases, and different functions of clauses. Before we start learning about phrases and clauses, it is important to know that what is a sentence. The sentence is generally defined as a word or a group of words that expresses a thorough idea by giving a statement, order, or asking a question or exclaiming. A sentence can be made up of phrases and clauses. So this definition tells us this sentence is a group of words which actually gives a whole idea what we are talking about, and sentences made up of phrases and clauses. What is a phrase? A phrase is a group of words that does not consist of a subject and a verb. Phrase cannot convey a complete thought. So children, what does this definition tells us? It tells us that phrase is a group of words, but it does not gives a complete idea of what we are talking about. Here are some examples given: on a table, under the tree, near the wall, on the roof. These are all phrases, but they are not telling us that what does it mean. On a table, what is going on a table? This phrase is not giving a complete idea. To make it simple, we can say that phrase does not tell us that what action is being performed and who is performing the action, which means that there is no subject and no action or verb in the phrase. Now let's have a look on different kinds of phrases. Let's start with noun phrases. Noun phrases are groups of words that function like nouns. It means that in a sentence, a group of words which is working like a noun is called a noun phrase. Class, in a given example, a decent black shirt is a noun phrase because it is the name of a thing which she bought. Adjective phrase is a group of words that describes a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. What does it mean? It means that adjective phrase describes what is a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. In a given example, the final exams is a word which is noun and it is described as unbelievably difficult. So, unbelievably difficult in this sentence is an adjective phrase. Adverb phrase is simply a group of two or more words that function as an adverb in a sentence. So what is adverb? Adverb is a word that defines verb. So any group of words that is actually describing verb in a sentence is an adverb phrase. In a given example, they ran really fast. Really fast is describing the action ran, so it is an adverb phrase. A prepositional phrase expresses the relation between the noun and the other words. For example, the cat is sitting on the chair. Here, on the chair is a prepositional phrase because it is telling the relation of a cat and the chair. Verbal phrases can be finite or non-finite. What does it mean? A finite verb can be a main part of a sentence. For example, I cooked dinner last Thursday. In this sentence, cooked is a main verb which is telling the action that something was cooked on last Thursday. Now what is a non-finite verb? Non-finite verbs actually look like verb but they act differently. Non-finite verb phrases are of three types: infinitive, gerunds, and participles. Now, what is an infinitive phrase? It always includes to plus verb. What does it mean? That we always use a word to with a verb. Infinitive looks like a verb, but it can act like an adjective, an adverb, or a noun. Let's see the example. There is a basket to put the eggs in. Here, to put the eggs in is an infinitive phrase. Why? Because it is describing the basket. And as we all know that basket is a noun, so The phrase to put the eggs in is describing the basket, therefore it is working as an adverb here. Next is a gerund phrase. Gerund looks like a verb but acts like a noun. It always ends with ing. For example, reading books quietly is my favorite pastime. Here, reading looks like a verb but is actually a noun because here reading is used as a name of a habit. Reading books is actually a name of a habit. Therefore, this is called a gerund phrase. Next is a participle phrase. It is a group of words containing a participle which can either be present, past or perfect. And participle looks like a verb but it actually acts like an adjective. Present participle ends with ing and past participle ends with ed. In the given example, the man standing by the tree is suspicious. Standing looks like a verb but it is describing a man who is standing by the tree, so it is actually functioning as an adjective. So, class, this was all about phrases. As we discussed earlier, the sentence is made up of two things, phrases and clauses. Now we will discuss the clauses. A clause is a group of words which includes a subject and a verb. There are two types of clauses, independent clause and dependent clause. Independent clause is a group of words that contains a subject, a verb, and it conveys a complete message. And it is also called a main clause or the principal clause of the sentence. An independent clause is a complete sentence itself. On the other hand, dependent clause is a clause which does not contain a complete message and it cannot be a sentence on its own. Therefore, it is called a dependent clause or a subordinate clause. It starts with conjunctions. For example, the dependent clause most of the time starts with words like and, or, nor, yet, although, whether, while. Now let's see the different functions of clauses. Noun clause. Noun clause is a dependent clause that works like a noun. For example, I know that the story is true. Here, that the story is true is a noun clause because it is telling that what I know. Adjective clause is a dependent clause that works to describe a noun in a sentence. For example, Sarah is the girl who helped me with my assignment. Here, who helped me with my assignment is an adjective clause because it is defining Sarah. Next is adverb clause. It is a dependent clause that functions as an adverb. It can be of different types. It can be clause of time, clause of place, clause of reason, clause of comparison, or adverb clause of manner. As always remember that adverb clause always starts with subordinating conjunctions. For example, after, although, as, because, before, then, that, and so on. In the given example, as he is ill is an adverb clause because it is defining the verb not coming. Okay class, now that we have learned that what are phrases and clauses, let's come to your homework. Okay kids, you can see on your screens that it is mentioned that what homework will be done in the copies and what homework will be done in the books. Before starting the exercises in the copies, you have to write all the definitions of phrases and clauses with their kinds and examples given in your books. I have done 2 examples of every exercise so that you can solve the rest of the exercise by yourself. In exercise A, you have to underline the verbal phrases in the given sentences and identify their types. You can see that I have solved the first 2 sentences for you. In first sentence, I like riding my bicycle in the morning. Riding my bicycle in the morning is a gerund phrase. And in second sentence, distressed by his rudeness, she did not respond. Distress is the participle phrase. Now you have to do the rest of the exercise in the same way. In exercise B, you have to choose the appropriate prepositional phrases from the box given on your book, and then you have to complete the sentences. I have shown 2 examples and you have to do rest of the exercise by yourself. First sentence is, an old man was sitting dash. I have chosen the appropriate prepositional phrase for this sentence, which is beneath the banyan tree. Now you will do the rest of the exercise in the same way. In exercise C, you have to decide that whether the words written in italic form are phrases or clauses. And then you have to write P or C in the brackets. I have shown 2 sentences and you have to do the rest by yourself. Exercise D will be done in the copies, and in this exercise you have to convert the phrases given in the sentences into clauses, and you have to use the words given in brackets. For example, standing in the heavy downpour, the cow shook its head, and the word given in bracket is while. So what will be the answer? While the cow was standing in the heavy downpour, it shook its head. In exercise E, you have to convert the clauses into phrases by using the words given in the brackets. For example, I heard that she had passed the entrance test, and the word given in the bracket is of. So the sentence will become, I heard of her passing the entry test. In exercise F, you have to underline the adverb clauses of time given in the sentences. First sentence is, save some money while you are still working. What is adverb clause of time in this sentence? While you are still working. In exercise G, you have to fill in the blanks with adverb clauses of time using the words given in the box in your books, and you have to use conjunctions when, whenever, and after to complete the sentence. For example, dash, I could play inter-school matches. When I joined the team, I could play inter-school matches. In exercise J, you have to underline the adverb clause of reason. For example, since you are tired, you should have a rest. Here, since you are tired is a reason. I am happy that you have come back. That you have come back is reason of being happy. Exercise K, you have to underline the subordinate adverb clauses of comparison. For example, the girl is cleverer than you think. Here, than you think is an adverb clause of comparison. Similarly, in the second sentence, it was a finer performance than I expected. Than I expected is an adverb clause of comparison. In exercise L, you have to underline the adverb clause of manner. It appears as if it might rain. Here, as if it might rain is the adverb clause of manner. You may speak as I told you. Here, as I told you is adverb clause of manner. Okay class, I hope that my explanations will make it easy for you to complete your homework on time and to understand the topic in detail. Now you have to complete your homework and send your copies on time. Please make sure that your homework is in a proper manner, in a neat handwriting, and there should be date on every new homework. You should maintain your index and make a title page on every new homework. Please send your copies on time. Allah Hafiz, we will meet in the next video.